All right, everybody, welcome back to the Facts Only Rapid Reactions. Today, we talking certified USDA beef between one King LeBron James and one Sir Charles Barkley. So, for those of you living under a rock, Charles Barkley criticized LeBron, calling him whiny and criticizing his competitive nature, shall we say. LeBron James then fired back, detailing the multiple Charles Barkley indiscretions and asking what made him credible outside of being a TNT analyst. So let me ask you, what side of the coin do you fall on?
Well, I roll with LeBron on this one, man, for several reasons. Over the years, LeBron, as well as the media at large, sports media at large, have been highly critical of LeBron and all of his decisions. Whether it's him leaving Cleveland, whether it's his play on the court, his clutch nature, him not showing up, speaking about the clutch nature in the finals, calling out certain players. The list goes on, even to his hair. I mean, I've heard criticism about that. And after a while, as a man, you have to, take sports and all that stuff aside. After a while, as a man, you reach a boiling point. Like, as bad as you have belittled the player that shall not be named on the Sixers, if he sees you in the street, he has all the right in the world to slap you. But because at the end of the day, we're dealing with men. And on another level, what Charles Barkley is saying is that, he doesn't want to compete. He's whiny. No, he's not. Every athlete, I don't care what the sport it is, if you're any type of salt to you, any type of heart, you want to win. You want to win before that window closes. And LeBron just sees that I've been to 7. I won, 3. My window is closing. I want to win multiple championships. Okay? I need to have the best players out there possible. And for Charles Barkley to be so critical of him coming out and blasting the organization, who, by the way, when he first left Cleveland, burned his jersey. The owner basically threw him under the bus, said that Cleveland would win before he did in Miami, which we know was false. And he came back and swallowed his pride, came back to Cleveland and brought him a championship. He's the greatest player of his generation. If he wants another point guard, you need to go get him another point guard. And for Charles Barkley to be critical of him, complaining, quote unquote, complaining and whining about that is asinine, especially given the fact that Charles, once upon a time in Philadelphia, left the Sixers for that very reason, because he wanted to compete. When he was leaving Philadelphia, all he said was, I want to win. All I want to do is win. So he went to the Suns. All right, they went to the championship, lost to the Bulls, as we know. Then he went to Houston later on with Kareem and Clyde Drexel to win a chip. Okay, so to think that LeBron is doing things out of the ordinary is ridiculous. But I feel that Charles Barkley over the years has poked the bear, and the bear struck back.
All right, so here's the thing. First of all, let's address the fact of what makes Charles Barkley credible, right? It's not the fact that he's a TNT analyst. It's the fact that he's a Hall of Famer and probably one of the 15 greatest players in NBA history. That's what makes Charles Barkley credible. Second of all, you know why LeBron James is upset with Charles Barkley's comments? Because he believes that they're true. People don't react in this manner, right? Make things personal unless you hit a chord, unless you struck a chord, you struck a nerve, right? So Charles Barkley says something that LeBron James has internalized and felt is true. Ergo, I need to defend myself, right? There's 1,000 analysts across the league criticizing LeBron James day in, day out. None of them get this type of vitriol back from him, right? So that tells me that LeBron James is hurt by what Charles Barkley said because it is true. Second of all, LeBron James is whiny. Let's stop the madness here, okay? LeBron James has gotten everything he's wanted since he's entered the league, right? He got to go play with his best friend, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, right? He got to come back and pull in Kyrie, force the ownership to trade the number 1 pick so he can get Kevin Love, bring in his man Kyle Korver. They've given this man everything he's essentially asked for, right? So for him to come out and blast everybody through the media instead of taking it to Dan Gilbert, who he knows is going to give him everything he wants, is just his way of whining, his way of defending himself against poor play. If Cleveland was winning games, right, irregardless if LeBron James thought they were good enough to win a championship or not, if Cleveland was winning games, you would not have saw this type of reaction from LeBron James. You only saw this type of reaction from LeBron James because Cleveland has lost 5 of their last 6, right? Losing breeds content. Ergo, LeBron James is defending himself by throwing everybody else under the bus, which makes you a whiny little baby.
I understand that point of view, but I think Charles Barkley, over the years, as I stated before, has really taken to LeBron in a negative way. And again, it comes back to just like sheer principles, man. Sheer principles that as an NBA player, as the same player that, you said Hall of Famer, played for about 15 years, you know the grind, you know what it takes to win. Because Charles, let's face it, you never won anything. You never won anything. Except the gold medal.
That's not saying
he never won anything. He won a gold medal. Hold on. He won a gold medal.
Yeah, that's something.
With arguably the greatest team ever assembled in any sport.
A gold medal is still something.
All right, that's fine, but he has never essentially won anything in this regard, where he had to beat his peers that were equal, if not better. Okay, he's never done that. So he's been through the grind, and I think, yes, maybe it did strike a chord on the fact that it was true, but I think it also struck a chord with the fact, like, Charles, you know what I'm trying to do here. You have been really, over the years, especially as an NBA player, Charles Barkley is probably one of the most outspoken human beings you'll ever come across.
Right.
Who won't be afraid to criticize players, teammates, the media, ownership, whoever. So for him to sit there now, and now you're on the opposite side of it and call somebody a whiny baby, it's kind of ridiculous. Especially when, like I said, now granted, I don't agree with LeBron pulling in the spitting incident, him throwing people through the window. But again, I think LeBron's attempt was to highlight, Charles, stop trying to throw shade on me, Brent. I'm squeaky clean. I'm talking about my basketball prowess. I'm talking about my profession, okay? Over the years, as I stated, he's talked about not only basketball, but other things personal to LeBron, okay? So Charles Barkley, I just feel in this instance, really stepped over the line, especially because he's walked in LeBron's shoes.
So first of all, let's stop the madness, right? Charles Barkley didn't step over any line. He reacted to comments that LeBron made public. Nobody else made these comments public. LeBron did. Second of all, I hate this notion from Bronomosexuals that LeBron is somehow above reproach, right? First of all, we criticize Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan left to go play baseball, right? Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all times, right? Michael Jordan has been criticized heavily for his indiscretions off the court, on the court, whatever they may be. So if Michael Jordan is criticizable, then LeBron James is criticizable. So let's stop acting like LeBron James is getting some type of reaction that no other player in the NBA is getting, because it's false. It's a false narrative pushed by LeBron fans, and it's ridiculous. Charles Barkley's job is to criticize. He is an analyst. Most analysts' jobs are to criticize, right? That's their job. For you to get offended that a man did his job, he didn't say anything personal. He didn't talk about his family or his wife or anything of that nature. He said your reaction to the media based on what you perceive this team to be is whiny, and it is.
He called him, not only did he call him a whiny baby, he also attacked his competitive nature, his competitive drive, his will to compete, which is absolutely asinine.
That's fair game, though.
It's not fair game when you talk about a player who's been to 6 straight finals appearances. When you talk about being afraid to compete, when they lost to Golden State the first time, it was just LeBron versus the Golden State Warriors, and he held his own. I just think, again, I understand the right for an analyst to criticize. We criticize all the time. That's not the issue. The issue is that Charles Barkley, on numerous occasions, has poked the bear in the instance of talking about his competitiveness, his willingness to win, his clutch nature. Mm-hmm. Again, I said it before, his hair. And it just reached a boiling point. It reached a boiling point with LeBron, man. And you listen, at the end of the day, these guys are all males. These guys are all alpha males, okay? If I came to you and consistently slapped you, after a while, you would be upset as well, okay? I don't care, and I don't care what your hierarchy is, what you do for a living, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, professions aside, it's a man, another man talking about a man's worth, a man's being, a man's drive, a man's determination, a man's mental capacity. That's what Charles Barkley attacked today or the other day when he was talking about his being whiny and not wanting to compete and all that. So yes, when you do that, you're up for, just like he can criticize LeBron. As wrong as it was, LeBron could criticize Charles for his past discretion.
All right, final thought from me is this. One, everything Charles Barkley has criticized about LeBron is fair game. Competitive nature in sports is fair to criticize. And I think a lot of people equate talent with competitive nature. LeBron's one of the most physically gifted players the NBA has ever seen. That does not make him the most competitive person the NBA has ever seen, right? So let's not make one equal two, because that's not true.
That's not the point.
It is the point. It is the point. Again, Charles Barkley, the things that he's criticized, LeBron's competitive nature, and his whiny comments that he made public are fair game to an analyst. What LeBron did was then use essentially a low blow, right, to retaliate. He could have attacked Charles Barkley's credentials as an NBA analyst. He didn't do that. He attacked Charles Barkley personally, and that again tells you what? That LeBron James was hurt by the comments because they're likely true.
Final thought. Obviously, we haven't heard the last of this. I'm sure Sir Charles Barkley will say something in rebuttal. I just say this in closing. If you're going to attack the arguably the best player of his generation, I feel you have to have a better argument than him just being whiny and him and attacking his competitive nature. Because if you look at what he has done, you may not like what he has done or like the way he has done it. That could be because of your own, preference of a superstar's conduct. But you can't argue with the numbers. You can't argue with the facts. The facts are he's been to 6 straight finals appearances with 2 different teams. He's won 3. Countless awards, accolades, you name it. Scoring record, the whole shebang. This is not a marginal, mediocre player. This is, like I said, the best player in the league. And Charles Barkley, to him to attack his competitive drive and his wanting the best out of his team each and every year, Charles Barkley, on that alone, you cross the line.
All right. So all those accolades you named, and I know I said final thought 10 minutes ago.
This is the final thought.
Final thought. All those accolades you named does not make LeBron James bulletproof. He's still not above reproach, and he's still criticizable, just as every other NBA player is. And Charles Barkley criticized his things about his game, and that's fair game to me. So LeBron James. Oh, and I'll also say it's real cute that Dwayne Wade has come to LeBron's defense as his bromance should, right? That's his buddy. That's his man. That's his man. That's his butt buddy. I get it. For everybody out there listening, thanks for checking in. Check us out every Sunday on 106.5 FM, 215 Sports.
Peace.